It was a sunny afternoon in a small neighborhood in Madeira, Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo, dressed in a simple white t-shirt and track pants, had decided to take a nostalgic walk through the streets where he had grown up. The familiar sights and sounds brought back memories of his childhood. The narrow alleyways where he used to kick around a makeshift soccer ball with his friends, dreaming of one day becoming a professional footballer. As Cristiano turned a corner, he heard the unmistakable sound of children laughing and shouting. Curiosity piqued. He followed the noise and soon found himself at a small dirt field tucked between two rows of houses. A group of kids was playing an intense game of soccer, their faces lit with joy and determination. Despite the uneven ground and makeshift goalposts made from rocks, their enthusiasm was contagious. Cristiano leaned against a nearby fence, watching the game unfold. His eyes were drawn to a young boy, no older than 10, who was clearly the star of the group. The boy moved with incredible speed and precision, dribbling past his friends with ease and scoring goal after goal. His passion and raw talent were unmistakable, reminding Cristiano of himself at that age. The boy's name was Lucas. He wore a faded jersey that was 2 sizes too big and shoes that had seen better days, but none of that seemed to matter. His love for the game was evident in every move he made. As the game continued, Lucas noticed Cristiano standing by the fence. His eyes widened in disbelief as he recognized the man who had inspired him to play soccer in the first place. "Is that Cristiano Ronaldo?" Lucas whispered to one of his friends, who immediately turned to look. Within moments, the game came to a halt as all the kids gathered around, staring in awe at the football legend. Cristiano smiled and waved. "Hello, everyone," he said warmly. "Great game you're playing here. Who's the captain?" Lucas hesitantly stepped forward. "That would be me," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Well, Lucas," Cristiano said, crouching down to his level, "you've got some serious skills. How long have you been playing?" "Since I was 5, Lucas replied, his confidence growing slightly. "But I've never had proper training. I just practice here with my friends." Cristiano nodded thoughtfully. "Sometimes, passion and hard work are more important than anything else. You remind me of myself when I was your age." Lucas's face lit up with a mixture of pride and disbelief. "Really?" "Absolutely," Cristiano said. "Do you have a favorite move or trick?" Lucas grinned and nodded. "The step over. I've been practicing it a lot." "Show me," Cristiano said, stepping onto the field. The other kids watched in amazement as Lucas demonstrated his step-over technique. While it was impressive, Cristiano noticed a few areas where Lucas could improve. "Absolutely," Cristiano said. "Do you have a favorite move or trick?" Lucas grinned and nodded. "The step-over. I've been practicing it a lot." "Show me," Cristiano said, stepping onto the field. The other kids watched in amazement as Lucas demonstrated his step-over technique. While it was impressive, Cristiano noticed a few areas where Lucas could improve. Children hung on his every word, eager to learn from one of the greatest footballers in the world. As the sun began to set, Cristiano called Lucas over. "Lucas, you've got real talent," he said, "but talent alone isn't enough. You need to work hard, stay focused, and never give up on your dreams." Lucas nodded, his eyes shining with determination. "I promise I won't." Cristiano reached into his pocket and pulled out a small notebook. He wrote something down and handed it to Lucas. "This is the contact information for a youth academy in Lisbon. If you're serious about football, tell your parents to reach out to them. I'll make sure they know who you are." Lucas stared at the notebook, his hands trembling. "Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo. I don't know how to thank you." Cristiano reached into his pocket and pulled out a small notebook. He wrote something down and handed it to Lucas. "This is the contact information for a youth academy in Lisbon. If you're serious about football, tell your parents to reach out to them. I'll make sure they know who you are." Lucas stared at the notebook, his hands trembling. "Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo. I don't know how to thank you." "Just promise me one thing," Cristiano said, placing a hand on Lucas's shoulder. "When you make it big one day, remember to help others who are just starting out. I'm helping you now." "I promise," Lucas said firmly. As Cristiano walked away, the children cheered and waved, their excitement echoing through the neighborhood. For Lucas, that day marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. With Cristiano's encouragement and guidance, he was ready to chase his dreams and show the world what he could do. Lucas spent the next few days unable to think about anything but Cristiano's advice and the contact information he'd been given. He showed the notebook to his parents, who were initially skeptical but ultimately supportive of their son's dreams. Together, they called the Youth Academy in Lisbon and explained Lucas's story. True to Cristiano's word, the Academy welcomed the boy for a trial session. The trip to Lisbon was a whirlwind for Lucas. For the first time, he left his small neighborhood to see the bustling city. The Youth Academy's facilities were unlike anything he'd ever seen: perfectly manicured fields, modern equipment, and professional coaches. Lucas felt both nervous and excited as he stepped onto the pristine pitch for his trial. During the trial, Lucas poured his heart into every move, every pass, and every shot. The coaches watched closely, murmuring to one another as they evaluated his performance. Despite his lack of formal training, Lucas's natural talent and determination shone through. By the end of the session, the head coach approached him with a smile. "Lucas, you have something special," the coach said. "With the right training, I believe you can go far. Welcome to the Academy." Lucas could hardly believe his ears. Tears of joy filled his eyes as he thanked the coach and his parents, who hugged him tightly. The next few months were a blur of intense training and adjustment to life at the Academy. Lucas worked harder than ever, remembering Cristiano's words every time he felt tired or discouraged. One day, while practicing on the field, Lucas noticed a familiar figure watching from the sidelines. It was Cristiano Ronaldo. The legend had come to check on the boy's progress. Lucas's heart raced as he ran over to greet him. "Mr. Ronaldo." "I didn't know you were coming," Lucas said, beaming. Cristiano smiled. "I wanted to see how you're doing, and from what I've heard, you're making great progress." Lucas nodded eagerly. "I've been working really hard, just like you said." Cristiano spent the rest of the afternoon watching Lucas train, occasionally offering tips and encouragement. Before leaving, he pulled Lucas aside. "You're on the right path," Cristiano said. "But remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Keep learning, stay humble, and always give your best." As Cristiano left, Lucas felt a renewed sense of purpose. He continued to excel at the Academy, eventually catching the attention of scouts from professional clubs. Years later, Lucas would look back on that sunny afternoon in Madeira as the moment that changed his life forever. And this brings us to the end of this extended story. Thank you for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. See you in the next one.